Howdy ho, folks. It's your multiversal medium here with something completely different. Alrighty. Today we're back in the world of Morrowind for another episode of, well, Morrowind. Where the heck we're going to be doing it.
I don't know if I can help you, but I'll try.
Last episode, we were just kind of chilling and going through the tutorial, and I talked too much. This episode, we're going to talk to everyone's favorite meme Woodelf, at least in this game, Fargoth. Are you the one that boat dropped off? Odd to see a boat arrive at that time of day. Hope the Imperials treated you okay. I swear they took my ring. Ooh, ring. I swear one of the guards had it. I had it last week before the weekly Let's Shake Down Fargoth ritual. An engraved healing ring. Family heirloom of mine. You haven't seen it, have you? So we have two choices right here. No, sorry, no ring, or yes, I found it, here, take it. So I'm actually going to skip that for now. I think I can just hit that, or actually goodbye. Can I? Nope, I actually had to answer him right now, so that's good to know. So yeah, I found it. Here, take it. You found it? Amazing. And see his disposition actually maxed out from doing that. You love the fact that we did it. Thank you. Thank you. You are now my favorite friend. I'll be sure to tell others, especially my friend Arrille, who runs the trade house here. Go see him. He'll be happy to see you now. Alrighty, good stuff. Let's see here, background. I am Fargoth, commoner. Latest rumors? I heard there has been some trouble up at Fort Frostmouth. Never heard of it? It's on an island called Solstheim, north of Vardenfell. So basically we just already unlocked one of the DLCs. Good to know. Little advice. Ew. You're better green. Outlander. Might as well wear a sign. New to town. Word of advice. Buy a little goodwill. Lost a few drakes? Gain a friend. Folks will loosen up if you spread a little of the Emperor's gold around. So yeah, he's basically saying if you want people to like you, you can bribe them. Okay, little secret. If someone attacks you first, you have the right to defend yourself. If someone doesn't attack you first, you're going to break the law if you attack him. His trade. I'm a commoner. I do whatever needs doing. Cooking, cleaning, building, baking, making, breaking, and by your accent, I can tell you are an outlander. Since you're new to these parts, perhaps you'd like me to share a little local lore. Services. Get food and sundries from Arrille's trade house. That's also where you'll find anyone who offers training. Not much else to do in the way of services in this damp little squat. Solstheim? I've heard of the place. I believe there's an Imperial fort up there, Fort Frostmouth, or something. If you want to go there, check around and cool. There may be a ship that'll take you. In our journal updated because DLC. Someone in particular. The Altmer Arrille runs Arrille's trade house. Sashius Ergala. I can't remember. They go heavy with the fantasy names in this one, and since there's no voice acting, it's kind of hard to know how the heck they want them pronounced. Is the chief agent at the Census and Excise office, which is where we just were. We just talked to him. Specific place. Not much here. Arrille's trade house, the Census and Excise office, and that's the Coast Guard too, and a lighthouse, and that's it. Silt Strider service goes to Vivec, Balmora, Nisus, and Saran. The road goes north past Pelagiad to Balmora, and east to Vivec, and southeast to Ebonheart. Okay, appreciate it, man. Appreciate it. So, as he just said, we honestly should almost always stop here at the trade house. Now, it's actually not that door down here, but all the way around.
Anytime now.
We'll be dealing with Fargoth a bit here in a second. Now, you may notice something in the bottom left, as you can kind of tell my fatigue is draining as I walk. That is actually because of the fact that I believe I'm over encumbered right now. Actually, no way. Yeah, I forgot, that's purely a Morrowind thing. So since we're running, I believe we're constantly draining fatigue. It's annoying at the start of the game. A lot of aspects are. You become stronger.
To be sure.
Okay, Ariel at Ariel's Trade House, and he likes me a lot because I helped Fargoth. Good to know. Welcome to Ariel's Trade House. I barter for goods or coin. I also have a small selection of spells for sale. No credit. You want a little advice? That's free. That's all that's free. Would you like to hear more about our popular potions or our most popular spells? Little advice, latest rumors. Oh, wrong button. Latest rumors. I heard that Hrisskar upstairs is having some financial troubles. Can't seem to win a wager these days. We kind of saw that when we got the dagger. Little advice. If you want to live to a ripe old age, buy a weapon and as much armor as you can wear and still run from trouble. Buy a spell or two and practice your skills. Don't practice on citizens. We call that foul murder, and we don't like it. But you can kill smugglers and bandits and other outlaws all you like. Outlaws have no rights. Plenty of adventurers make a living from killing and looting outlaws. That smuggler scum down in Adamatsus. Listen, man, that's a lot of letters right there. I'm amazed I said Hecatonocres, my class name correctly, or at least arguably correctly. Adamastartus or whatever seems like arguably a weird way of saying something from a different language, and I'm not learned enough to know that language. For instance, the cave down near the Silt Strider platform. So basically he outright said, hey, here's a dungeon filled with smugglers that you can attack and nobody's going to care. And he let us know that. I would not recommend that for new players. That place can kill you really quickly if you don't handle it well. Those bandits and stuff, smugglers, what have you, are a good bit more difficult if you don't have skills that you properly have up to a certain level, because you're going to be missing your attacks. Anyways, popular potions. Cure common disease and cure blight disease potions are the most popular with travelers. Fortify strength, endurance, and speed, agility are very helpful in combat. Fortify personality is popular with merchants and shy persons. Of course, fortify fatigue keeps you fighting at your best. Restore health and restore fatigue are perhaps the most popular items, and for a short burst of power during a fight. You can't beat grief. Sheen, Flynn, Maze, and Sujama. Popular scrolls. Vigor and vitality are best-selling bargain items, restoring fatigue and health, respectively. Sylvie intervention and divine intervention transport you instantly to the nearest temple or nearest imperial shrine. Good for routine or emergency transportation. Heartwise helps with persuasion. Summon skeletal minion brings help in a jiffy. Andrathis Winter Guest does a lot of damage at a touch. Handy to whittle a too tough opponent down to size. Practice your skills. Practice on creatures and outlaws and anyone who attacks you first. When in doubt, run away. And if you attack a citizen by accident, don't kill him. Turn yourself in to a guard, pay your fine, and clear your name, or people will treat you like an outlaw. Yeah, good stuff. All good things to remember in this game. But first and foremost, let's get to bartering. Now, last episode, I went on a stealing spree, and as you can tell, all the stuff is still in my inventory. That being said, we can also just perfectly sell all these things to him. Even though they're all stolen, this is something you can't do in later entries. So note to Hrisskar, we don't need that, I don't think. Package for Caius Casatus, we do need that. Paper we can get rid of. Cool. The firmament, all the other stuff. Also, let me know if you guys want me to read books or not, like I did last episode. Let's see here. Basket, bottles, all this fun stuff. Basically, I stole everything I could to get a bit of starting capital. Because even these small bowls and everything are useful, at the start of the game at least, to get enough to be outfitted. I would highly recommend going for anything and everything you could steal at the start of the game. Pretty soul gem, we'll hold on to that for now. Eventually work on enchanting and the like and all that fun stuff. But yeah, now to go a bit deeper into how selling and buying works. As we can tell, the total sold down here is 166. That's my gold right there, and the seller gold. We can actually up that to ask for more gold, and that is how the mercantile skill works in this game. Basically, you'll be offering and changing your offer depending on how much you might be able to get and how much you might be able to want from the NPC. Ultimately, they're going to try and rip you off, but the higher your mercantile, as well as the higher your personality stat and how much they like you, is going to factor in to how much you're going to be able to get or how much you're going to be able to get things cheaply. Now, what I kind of want to get is probably, since I'm an Argonian, I'm going to say probably an iron spear. We got two different types. Let's see here. So, something we should know about weapons and stuff. I'm sorry that I keep going over tutorial stuff. I know Morrowind is a game that honestly does not hold your hand. And I know some people possibly looking at this are curious about how this game plays. What's more, if you want to skip all this stuff, it's timestamps down below. I'm sorry, it's probably going to be this for the first few episodes as I talk about various mechanics. So, when it comes to weapons, we can see various info. One, that it's a spear, so it's going to be a part of the spear skill. It's two-handed, so it costs two hands to wield. And then there's several different ways of attacking. Chopping, slashing, and thrusting, and different damage modifiers per each. So it is a spear and it does more damage via thrusting. That being said, how do you thrust with a spear? How do you chop? How do you slash? And ultimately, it kind of sort of comes down to your skill level. As you get better with each and every weapon or what have you, you'll start doing the types of attacks that do the most damage because you know the weapon better. It is low-key an RPG kind of thing. So, arguably, if you don't know how to use a spear, a lot of the time you may just end up slashing or chopping with it and doing little damage. But as that skill level goes up and you get to, say, 50 plus skill with a spear, you're mainly going to be doing thrusts because you know that's going to do the most damage, and that carries over to these other types of weapons. So there's a few different types of spears. And there's also staffs. These are two types of weapons you can't use in other games later on, staffs and spears. These staffs are not like the ones you'd see in later entries where they're just magic items. These are legit blunt weapons you smack things with. And I think that legit is like a little snake thing at the end of it. It's kind of nice. And yeah, spears are not in any game after this. It's something I know a lot of people are actually genuinely upset about. A lot of people want spears to come back because I don't know. I don't know why they were taken out to begin with, besides just to simplify the process. So, condition is how strong the weapon is, its health basically before it breaks. And NPCs can and will sell items at lower condition, I think for slightly less value, but you can go to a smith and have them repair it for you if you want. Same with armor and everything else. Now, weight and value, blah, blah, blah. Do I want to go for the halberd? I think it's got 700 condition compared to 600, and is that 400? The iron spear, this one is solid damage-wise, whereas the halberd and this iron spear have a grander possibility damage threshold, but since we're starting off, we should probably go for the guaranteed 2 to 4 damage, because that's what we're going to be doing at the start. We're not good enough. We're going to take one of these as our weapon. And his offer arguably went down because we took that out. So yeah, we are legit haggling. So when it comes to armor, there are a lot of different armor pieces. There's a right pauldron, a left pauldron, boots. Oh yeah, the beast boots. I mentioned this is one of the few mods I did. Chest piece, left gauntlet, right gauntlet, I believe greaves, and then helmet. And then shield as well. I can't remember if you can have a shield equipped with a two-handed item. Shields in this game work differently from Oblivion and Skyrim. They are not an active thing you do. You have a shield equipped, and as your shield skill goes up, your block skill, as well as based on luck and everything, you will automatically block. It is a dice roll to see whether or not you block, so arguably to raise that skill, sometimes it's wiser to train a bit until you can do it consistently, I guess you could say. Now, do I want heavy armor, medium armor, or light armor? So yes, medium armor is a type of armor that is in this game, and it is not nearly as common as other types of armors. There's just not many types of it. I don't think it's properly utilized in this game. It's one of the few things I'd say that. That being said, I think ESO handles light, medium, and heavy a lot better, as well as defining and differentiating between the two. So we also have clothing. That's something we'll go over here in a bit, but are there any? Let's see here. We have Nordic Beast boots. I'm not really seeing any iron boots in general. Arguably, I feel like I'd lean a bit more towards heavy. Just in general. So, if we can afford it, let's go with the steel greaves. This is a... This one's actually a medium one. Wow, we actually found one. Steel left. Steel left pauldron. Still right gauntlet. Still right pauldron. Pick one of those. One. There we go. And let's see here. We got greaves, shoulders, and hands. We still need a chest piece and boots, as well as a helmet. And maybe a shield. Maybe. Let's see. Medium helmet right there. Medium. Heavy iron cuirass. Iron greaves, iron helmet. We'll see if this iron helmet can actually be worn by me. Greaves and cuirass. And let's see here. Let's just... Do I need the beast boots? I don't need them right now. It's not like it's absurd to not have boots on for a beast race. Same with like headpieces. It's just a preference for me, to be perfectly honest. But a bow. Ultimately, I don't know if I want to buy any of these scrolls. Actually, no, there's a few scrolls I do want. Not summon skeleton bow. Where are you? Does he not have them? Council V intervention. That's weird. He even talked about it. I wanted a scroll of divine intervention specifically for something, which if you know what that something is, good stuff, man. But if not, what else? It's all good. But having a get out of jail free card is kind of nice, honestly. Let's see here. I guess arguably that may be it. Considering we're still selling to him, let's try to get, let's say, 350 off this offer. He refused. Let's bring that back down to 330 offer. There we go. Alrighty. Oh, what spells does he have too? So, absorb fatigue. I think it's... Well, we can't afford it. That's why it's there. Father's Hand, Sanctuary, Fireball, Frostbite, Jack of Trades, Fortify Luck. Kinda like that. Resist Magicka and Spark. We'll call it good now. Don't exactly want or need any of those. Now let's see here. So, something that you may have slowly started picking up on as I'm gonna start equipping stuff. My UI may feel a bit different. Could I put this on? Nope, it's not a beast race one. Okay, yeah, we can't do that one, so we kind of wasted money, but what else? I didn't know if it would have a unique name to it like the shoes did or not, because they're different mods. So we do have... Oh, did I buy... Oh, I bought steel greaves as well as iron greaves. Well, that's on me. Whatever. I don't usually end up stealing that platter, so it's in the positive in my book. It doesn't matter. It really doesn't. I am doing way better than what I'd consider I usually am doing right around now. I think I can equip this one, because it's a coif. That should be fine. And yeah, I don't think I want any light armor right now. Bring that up to 25. Offer. Refused. 23. There we go. My mercantile went up. Oh no. Oh no. No, not really. Oh no. Anyways, goodbye. So, I suppose this is a good time to talk about that. So, when a skill goes up, like my mercantile just did, and you can also see the progress of each skill right there. Security is starting to go up. Each skill has a attribute, one of these major things where that's its major thing. For mercantile, it's personality. So when we level up, we're going to be able to choose personality and actually get a bit of a bonus to it since we raised a skill related to it. But there's a caveat to that in doing it well. So when you level up, you can choose 3 of these attributes to put a point into. If you leveled up skills based on that attribute, you'll be able to get a bigger bonus. 1 to 5 basically. Just picking something without leveling up a skill related to it will give you a bonus of 1. Getting a skill related to a raise, I want to say like 3 times, will raise it by, or 1 to 3 times will raise it by like 2, and then also many to 3 points bonus, so on and so forth. That being said, if we raised skills related to personality 10 times total, when we level up, we'd be able to raise our personality by 5 points by choosing it. And this leads to min-maxing moments. So if we want to cap out our endurance ASAP, every level up, we need to raise endurance-based skills 10 times. And endurance is about the only thing I really want to super rush on doing. And that's why I chose a medium armor and like a heavy armor thing, and not something like light armor, basically. That way, we'll just be able to get endurance up, because light armor is actually agility, not endurance. That's also why I chose the spear. It's also an endurance skill. That is about the only thing I want to rush and get capped out, because that's going to have higher dividends the quicker you do it. That being said, I also chose a spear, one, because they're unique to Morrowind, basically, and two, well, actually, where is spear? No, it's around here somewhere. Oh, there it is. Basically, we have a bonus to it simply because we're Argonian. So it's one of our better skills for attacking right now. And it'll give us a good chance of dealing with enemies at the start of the game. Alrighty, that's about it. May as well keep talking to various NPCs and slowly learning more. You're new to Satanine, right? I'm Tolvis or Helene. I'm sure you have questions. Go ahead, ask. I have plenty of time. Okay, cool. I'm new in town. She's a commoner. Latest rumors. My cousin claimed he saw a city in the water near Narmak. He's a drunkard, though, and spends too much time in the sun. So, even though that didn't unlock anything, it's kind of like the dungeon that we heard from the shopkeeper. A lot of these things are actually telling you about places to go explore if you'd want to. And some of these places are hard to find. You need to listen to a random one-off line by an NPC and you're like, well, I guess I could explore over there, and you'll come across like a wonderful little dungeon, and every dungeon is handcrafted. Little advice. Best bet if you're new here is to hook up with one of the Imperial guilds, Fighters Guild or Mages Guild. It's not what you know, it's who you know. You'll get discounts on training and services, and if you need work, they know where to find it. Yeah, so I think it is low-key part of the main plot to join at least one guild, and there's a lot of factions you can join. So it is worth looking into that stuff. And it does help out, it does. Oh, a little secret. You're an outlander. Maybe you don't know about all the kinds of Daedric ruins we have around here in Morrowind. Daedra cults worship the bad Daedra. You can learn more about that at the temple. Anyway, long ago, before the temple put a stop to it, people used to worship bad Daedra, Molech Baal, Malakath, Sheogorath, and Mehrunes Dagon at Daedra shrines. But lately, since the empires came in, some people have taken up worshipping the bad Daedra at these old sites. And I warn you, these are dangerous places. So yeah, Daedric shrines are littered across the entirety of this map. I don't think there's another game in the series with as many Daedric shrines, and they have a unique look to them. They are one of the more default dungeon dives in this game. You will notice them when you start to understand the architecture, and it'll be like, okay, well, I guess we're Daedric dungeon diving. It's not so much where it's like Skyrim with all the Draugr crypts, but there are a lot of Daedric shrines. Her trade, she is a commoner. Yep. Services. Get food and stuff from the trade house. Solstheim. A terrible place, I've heard. There's a boat from Cool, if you have any reason to go. Someone in particular. Trade house and specific place. Yep, not much here. Okay. So I was saying a moment ago, you may notice something a bit odd about my UI. I am playing with a Steam controller. And it was a hassle to set up. Hey, Hrisskar. You look like you could use a friend, Outlander. Perhaps I can be your friend. I'd like you to help me recover some gold. Recover some gold? That's right. See? I had a bad run of luck playing 9 holes and lost a bit of money. Normally I'd be fine. We can usually keep some gold in our pockets just from the money The locals pay us for protection. But I know some of them are holding out on me, specifically that little fetcher Fargoth. He's come up light the past couple of weeks when I've shaken him down. I know he's stashing it somewhere. I'd like you to find Fargoth's hiding place. I know the little fetcher got one somewhere in town, just not sure where yet. I've already gone through his whole house, so I know he's not hiding it there. I'd like you to find out where he's stashing his gold if you can. I'll give you a share of the wealth. Are you up for it? Oh, heck yeah, man. Bullying a nerd? All down for that. Even though I'm best friends with the nerd. Excellent. Here's what I want you to do. I'm not sure where he goes, but I know he wanders around town at night. Watch his movements. The best vantage point is up on the lighthouse, south of town. That will give you a nice view of all of Sadanin. If you keep an eye on where he goes, I'm sure you'll be able to figure out where he's hiding that gold. Okay, goodbye. I love how... I feel like anyone who's played this game has probably done this quest or whatever. Because they find Fargoth annoying for taking that ring back, in a sense, because that ring's super useful. It's an enchanted item that gives you a heal, basically. It's really useful for a lot of characters.
Speak up.
But that quest alone is a showcase of new tech. Before this game, there was Battlespire as well as Daggerfall. And although both those games have wandering enemy NPCs, I think friendly NPCs were stationary. In this game, other NPCs can wander around and do a bit of a schedule. And this quest is to showcase that. It's not the most common. A majority of NPCs won't be going from place to place. And their schedule, quote unquote, is very basic. This is not even as in-depth as Oblivion. But it is new tech and it's wonderful.
What's your story?
Okay. Ruffle the bragger. So, Handsy, you're new to Sadanin, and you'd like some help finding your way around. Very sensible. Go ahead, ask away. Looking for services? Some specific place? Someone in particular? Just need a little advice? Whatever it is, I'd be happy to help. Oh, he offers training too. So, this is something that we may be using a good deal. Training is something a lot of later games, I know a lot of people just kind of skip over because it's just 5 levels of training or whatever, and people forget to do it per level. So yeah, it is kind of annoying and you have to pay for it on top of everything else. That being said, it's a bit more important in this game. Specifically, let's say for block. It's hard to consistently block attacks if you don't have a block skill up to a certain threshold. You're not going to even pull out your shield to block. You can't just hold a button and block. Sometimes it's hard to hit enemies, so you want to raise one of your weapon skills past a threshold to continuously hit them. That kind of thing. So yeah, it is kind of worth training, but it goes a bit beyond that. Factions are really enjoyable and important to this game because, as we just saw with that quest we just picked up to steal from a peasant, the writing is on point and the quests are good, and the factions have their own gambit in the setting and their own endpoint in what they want to do. But to rise in a faction, you need to have skills that the faction likes over a certain threshold. If I want to join the Fighters Guild, I got to get like combat-based skills over a threshold to go higher in the Fighters Guild. Even if I'd done the entire quest line up to a certain point, they're not going to promote me. I'm still a weakling. So it's really good roleplay wise, but it also adds credits to actually train. And all these guilds and stuff do offer training via their NPCs. So yeah, it's worth it. Okay, background. He's a bragger. I do a little of this, a little of that. Latest rumors. friend of mine says you will have to visit the House of Earthly Delights in Saran. Little advice? Higher quality picks and probes are definitely worth their higher price, but keep cheaper ones around as well for the easier locks and traps. Also be sure to find a good source for buying these instruments. Actually, I may have been wrong last episode about whether or not you need like a journeyman lockpick to pick locks of journeyman level or below. I think they're just like lower quality and won't usually pick higher level ones as easily. He also mentioned probes. That is another item like a lockpick that you use the same way, and it is to disarm traps on locked items, whether it be a door or a chest. You can unlock a chest, but it will still be trapped unless you use a probe, and you can tell whether or not it's trapped basically via the UI, like how we saw it was locked earlier. We'll get into that later. Little secret. There's a lot of money to be made looting the Dwarven ruins. Against the law, yes, but where there's a profit to be made, folk turn a blind eye. One problem, the artifacts are often made of metal and heavy as hell. Unless you're a big brute, it's tough to carry away all the loot. Me, I carry a divine intervention and an Alm Sylvie intervention scroll. Load up, read the scroll, and I'm back in town with a load of goods. Morrowind. Morrowind is the northeastmost province of the Tamrielic Empire, bounded on the north and east by the ocean, on the west by Skyrim, and the southwest by Cyrodiil, also known as the Imperial Province, and on the south by Blackmarsh, also known as Argonia, his trade. I'm a scout. I know places, people, plants, paths, wind, and weather. I serve as a guide for travelers and traders, or work as advanced guard and pathfinder for expeditions. I know the geography of Vardenfell and the various geographic regions. My best defense is stealth, sneaking past trouble, but I can fight bow or blade in various armor styles when the job requires it. It's kind of interesting. Choosing trade and asking about their class will give you a proper description of what the heck that class is if you chose it. Services. Get food and all that stuff from the trade house. Sidenine. The Coast Guard cutters of Census and Excise dock here control smuggling and piracy on the Inner Sea. Actually, I'm curious. Inner Sea. The waters enclosed between mainland Morrowind and Vardenfell Island are called the Inner Sea. Geographic regions. Vardenfell has 9 regions, each with their own plants and terrain. They're called the Acadian Isles, the Ashlands, Azura's Coast, the Bitter Coast, the Grazelands, Molag Amur, Red Mountain, West Gash, and Sheogorath. As you can kind of tell, some of them are named after specific characters in the IP. Let's see here. Sheogorath region. Dagenfell is the only settlement reached by ship services. All other island-to-island transport must be provided by the traveler. Yeah, basically you can only go to Dagenfell via fast travel, and then you're kind of on your own in the Sheogorath region. Silt Strider. Yep, same info. Someone in particular. Trade house, specific place. Oh, there's trade house, census office, all that fun stuff. I believe he said one more region besides Sheogorath. So let's actually scroll up because I can't remember which one it was. He said the Bitter Coast. Yeah, we can just click that. Bitter Coast. The Bitter Coast is also called the Smuggler's Coast. Hidden coves and islands are handy for smugglers, and the frequent rain and fog hide small boats from excise cutters. So basically, people from the census office won't notice them as they're there. Good stuff.
Is this regarding Argonian?
Yeah. So, as you can kind of tell, a majority of this game is unvoiced, but there are a few voices here and there. And they all have their own charm. So, I am Tandrum Andalin, welcome to the scenic Sidanine gateway to Morrowind. Are you looking for someone in particular, or are you just around for a bit of advice? Background? Well, he's a bard. Latest rumors? I've heard that the local tax collector, Prasius Vitellius, is missing. No surprise, really. He wasn't well liked around here. Fair. That's another little thing we can look into. You say our journal did an update, but that is something we can look into. Little advice. Your first visit to Morrowind, Outlander, and learn the law and local customs. Get a copy of Law and Custom in Morrowind. Slavery is legal here. Foul murder is illegal. But if he strikes the first blow, you're in the clear. A verbal attack is illegal. Just like unprovoked physical attack. Folks are touchy about personal honor. Watch your tongue, or you'll get called out to a duel. Called out to a duel. So that's another thing. We can make people pissed at us enough to frickin' kill us, or at least try. So the persuasion menu, I haven't gone in detail about it. We can bribe a bit, obviously, and raise their who's my what's it frickin' disposition. We can admire them, intimidate them, or taunt them. If we constantly taunt them, it's going to lower their disposition until it's basically 0 out of 0. And they won't want to talk to us whatsoever. Yeah, a lot of NPCs won't want to talk to you if you're at a low enough disposition. So personality is useful as a stat. Unlike later games, I don't think it's really useful whatsoever in Oblivion. Honestly, it really isn't. Yeah, I say that freaking as a... Oh, I need to finish that video and stuff. I haven't been editing it. I'll talk about that later. Anyways, you can keep taunting them at that point, and there is a chance they will just nope, we're not dealing with this. I'm going to end you, and they will attack you. And guess what you can do in return? Attack them. So that's fun. That is fun. You can provoke people into arguably making it legal for you to kill them. Little secret. If someone attacks you first, well, you get the right to defend yourself. If someone doesn't, blah, blah. His trade? He's a bard. As an entertainer, I share songs and stories with patrons and peasants. As a scholar, I travel the world, speaking with people, learning the lessons of history and human nature. And because a good bard must experience adventure at first hand in order to present its drama effectively, I have learned to defend myself with the noble tools of medium armor and long blade, and have mastered minor mysteries of alchemy, enchantment, and illusion. Services, blah blah, trade house, Solstheim, blah blah. Someone in particular. Trade house, specific place. Not much here. The trade house, yeah, okay, yep, we're officially good. Nothing else going on with you. As you can tell, a lot of these conversation topics kind of circle back into the same thing. So it's not like, oh, I need to go through all these with these people. Legit, I could probably skip over half of these. I'm just going down them bit by bit to make sure I'm not missing anything because I'm doing a freaking playthrough. You're new to Sidanine, right? I'm Albercius Cololius. I'm sure you have questions. Go ahead, ask. I have plenty of time. Well, he is a battle mage. He is Imperial. Yep, same thing as last time. Latest rumors. Did you hear that some fool lost Mentor's ring in a tomb along the Bitter Coast? Or so they say. So, that's interesting. He just told us somebody lost an artifact along the Bitter Coast. That means if we explore the Bitter Coast region, there's a chance in one of the dungeons we will come across an artifact. Now, if I knew this game super well, I could beeline to where it's at. Why? Because every dungeon is handmade, and every item in the dungeon is hand placed. The only things changing per dungeon are enemy scaling, so the type of enemies we will encounter in them. But I think there's a threshold of This dungeon always has enemies of this type, at least of this level. That would be my guess. I honestly don't have anything to base that on. Anyways, little advice. Don't expect the natives to take to you right away. Colonists like us, outlanders, settlers from other provinces, will be more open and friendly at the start. Then, maybe, when you do a few things, get your name around, gain a reputation, then the locals will open up a little. Stick to your own kind to start, and it will go a little easier. So that is legit a thing. As we go through this game, we're going to face a lot of racism simply for being an outlander, and it's eased a smidge if we chose a dark elf. Just a smidge. They consider us an outlander even as a dark elf, I think, because we're not from Vvardenfell outright. But they aren't as racist. They do like you a bit more. Little secret. Daedra? You know what they are, right? Well, Daedric shrines are where Daedra cults worship Daedra. Bad people who summon bad Daedra. Stay away from them. Why? Because Daedra are nasty. And the folks that worship them are even nastier. His trade? I'm a battlemage. Though arrayed as a western knight with heavy armor, axes, and longblade, my primary training is in the College of Alteration, the College of Destruction, and the College of Conjuration. To round out my education, I have mastered enchantments and alchemy, potions made through alchemy, or purchased from alchemists. Grant me the magics of the Restoration, Mysticism, and Illusion colleges. And can there be any more terrible master of the science of war than a battle mage? I think not. Honestly, yeah, he's showcasing the battle mage as a very rounded class of both martial and magical. Everything he's not getting through magical by being this class, he's using alchemy to make up for. And basically everything he's not getting from the martial class, he's using magic to make up for. So yeah, good stuff. Good stuff. Services. Trade house, soul slime, someone in particular, trade house, and specific place. Not much, just trade house. Cool. One more NPC here.
I'm listening, so go ahead.
Go ahead. You're not interrupting anything. I'm alone. Scout. Need directions? Pelagiad, Balmora, Caldera, Ebonheart, and Vivek. And she offers training. You must have been misinformed. I do not offer services to the public. Background? She's a journeyman of the blades. Scout and journeyman of the blades. Okay. Balmora. Balmora is the district seat of House Hlalu. We'll go more into that later. And the largest settlement of Vvardenfell after Vivek. Good roads lead north from here to Balmora, passing through Fort Pelagiad and Pelagiad Village. From Balmora, roads lead north to Aldrune, through the town of Caldera. Maybe I'd better write down these directions to Balmora for you. It's a long walk and a little confusing. Okay. Yeah, Aline's directions to Balmora has been added to your inventory. Journal's been updated. Bitter Coast? The western coast of Vvardenfell from Sidenine, north to Narmak, is called the Bitter Coast. Caldera? Caldera is a recently chartered imperial town and mining corporation north of Balmora, on the road to Aldrune. The Caldera Mining Company has been granted an imperial monopoly to remove raw chunks of the rich deposits here. Caldera is a new town, recently built in the Western Imperial style, and most of the citizens are outlanders and new colonists. Ebonheart. Ebonheart is south on the road from Pelagiad, built on the western shore of the water-founded city of Vivek. Ebonheart is a seat in the imperial government for Vvardenfell district, and busy center of maritime trade. Castle Ebonheart is the home of Duke Vedendren, the district's ruler and emperor's representative. Also located at Castle Ebonheart are the Vardenfell District Council chambers in the Hawk Moth Legion garrison. East Empire Company has its headquarters in Ebonheart. Okay, good stuff, good stuff. Let's see here. Narmak. Narmak is a tiny island fishing village in the Bitter Coast region of western Vardenfell. Inner Sea, we already know what that is. Latest rumors. Local tax collector is missing. Yep, we already know that. Let's see here. Little advice. What about first visit? Yep, local customs and all that stuff. Little secret. Talk to everyone. Talk is cheap. Ask questions. You don't ask, you never learn. Good life advice, actually. Okay, her trade. She's a scout. I know people, plants, paths, wind, and weather. Ah, but she has a different thing she can learn as opposed to the other scout when we ask about a trade. She knows the geography of Vardenfell, not just geographic regions. So, it is worth talking to her about her trade as opposed to the other scout dude. Vardenfell District is the island of Vardenfell. Surrounded by the inland sea, Vardenfell is known for its giant volcano, Red Mountain, and its foul ash wastes. Yeah, Red Mountain's a major thing in this story and, well, setting in general. Let's see here. Pelagiad. Pelagiad is a newly chartered imperial village on the road north from Vivec to Balmora, right on the western edge of the Ascadian Isles region. The village is right outside the Imperial Legion garrison at Fort Pelagiad. The houses and shops are built in the Western Imperial style, and Pelagiad looks more like a village in the Western Empire than a Morrowind settlement. It honestly does. Services. Go to the trade house, Sidenine. A small seaport in the Bitter Coast region, the southwest coast of Vardenfell. Silt Striders. Yeah. Nothing unique. Solstheim, someone in particular. Trade house, Pacific Place. Pelagiad is the next town up the road. Cross the bridge out of town and just stay on the road. From Pelagiad, take the road north to Balmora and Caldera, or east to Ebonheart and Vivec. If you have the cash and are in a hurry, or afraid of getting lost, take the Silt Strider to Balmora or Vivec. Speak to Darvan Laren at the Silt Strider landing, across the bridge and south along the shore. If you plan to travel widely, get a copy of a guide to Vardenfell from Arrille. It's got maps. I like how they're just like, yeah, dude, just grab a map. Okay, let's see here. Vivec. Vivec City is south of the road from Pelagiad. Vivec is the largest settlement on Vardenfell and one of the largest cities in the east. Built on Norvain Bay, completely surrounded by water, the city itself is a group of giant town-sized buildings called cantons. The High Fane and the Palace of Vivec are visited by hundreds of tourists and pilgrims daily. Outlanders mostly confine themselves to the foreign canton, while natives live, work, and shop in the great house compounds and residential cantons. Vardenfell and Vardenfell District. So Vardenfell District is one of the 6 imperial administrative districts of Morrowind, consisting of the island of Vardenfell, surrounded by the inland sea and dominated by the titanic volcano Red Mountain and its associated ash wasteland. Vardenfell District, one of the 6 administrative districts, the Imperial Province. It consists of the island of Vardenfell with its great house and imperial settlements in the city of Vivec. Inland Sea, Red Mountain. Okay, cool. Basically the same thing with a little bit more flavor. Get it, got it, good. Great world building, and we just spent like basically an entire another hour just chatting with people. Gosh dang, man. This is going to be a slow playthrough, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah.
Is someone watching?
Yeah. Fun. Let's talk to you. I haven't seen your Argonian face before. Would you like a little advice? Or are you looking for someone in particular? Background, she's a commoner. Rumors? Tax collectors missing. Advice? You look like you can take care of yourself. Then why don't you do something about those smugglers in that cave? It's right over near the Silt Strider port. Yet those guards, look at them, just strutting around. Someone must have paid them to ignore the smuggling going on there. I mean, yeah, there's a lot of corrupt characters in this game, including me, because I'm willing to frickin' like just completely F over Fargoth simply for a bit of money. Little secret. How do you recognize a Daedric shrine? Well, they've got long, funny names like Arshurkantable or Saint-Theta-Barba-da-Firoyo. Some are well-known sites. And Al-Sirtha and Bal-Exel. And the stone and architecture is unmistakable. Big, dark, gray, green stone ruins. Funny angles, funny markings, and patterns on the stone. Weird oval cracked doors, and inside, all funny angles. Your trade, you're a commoner. Services, go to the trade house, Solstheim. Go to that one area for about someone in particular. The Altmer. Yeah, I could talk about Altmer now, because she's one. And a specific place? Not much here besides the trade house, but we can ask about Altmer now. We Altmer are proud, wise, and beautiful. You forgot humble. The Empire is built on the arts, crafts, and sciences of the High Elves. Our pure blood protects us from disease and makes us superior spellcrafters. You know what? That's fair, man. That's fair. Okay, I'll tell you what, guys. We are low-key outfitted. At least to a degree. Not greatly. I think next episode, why don't we actually try a dungeon dive? Where? Well, I'm going to regret this, but this area over yonder. Yeah, this area over yonder. Gosh, I think I am running. I legit do. Okay, that's sneak right there. I mentioned before that I'm using a Steam controller. So this is the cave with the smugglers right here. We're going to try this as a dungeon dive next episode and maybe just do a bit of exploration next episode to kind of showcase how stupid I am, I guess, doing this. This is probably not going to go well. But I'll talk to you guys then. And since it's going to be a dungeon dive kind of thing, I should be able to talk about various other topics as opposed to constant talking to individuals. I know the past 2 episodes have been NPCs, and I'm probably going to divvy up episodes a bit more like this. Exploration as one episode, talking and alerting and figuring out what we're doing for exploration, a different episode. So if you prefer one or the other, feel free to pick and choose. Anyways, guys, I'll talk to you later. It's been fun. But until then, ciao. Howdy, folks. If you liked what you saw, maybe consider another series of mine, like this one, or maybe just check out my channel. And if you enjoyed that video, I'd really appreciate if you took the time to like and comment down below. It helps me get more videos into your hands. Thanks in advance.